Hannah Stewart grew up in Cramerton, North Carolina in a tiny mill house. She went to Stewart M. Cramerton High School. She was the first graduating class for 4 years from there.
I grew up in Cramerton, North Carolina in a little tiny mill house. I went to Stewart W. Cramer High School, and I was the first graduating class of 4 years from there.
She said she always loved music, but she never played guitar until she was in college at Gardner-Webb University.
So I've always loved music since I was little, but I never played the guitar until I was in college at Gardner-Webb. I was there my freshman year, and I took a class for guitar called Guitar 1, and the professor, his name was Jason Pickard, and he made guitars, so he had a lot of knowledge about those things. And while I was there, I met a guy named Lewis. He was in my class with me, and we quickly became friends. And every now and then we would go over to his dorm and we'd listen to his portable vinyl record player together. And one day he was listening to a Reba McEntire album, and the song Fancy came on. And he looked at me and he goes, "You know, you look like a fancy." And I'm like, "I hope you don't mean I look like a hooker, because that's what the song's really about." He was like, no, you just look fancy. And I'm like, okay. And so quickly I started using that as my radio name. Into the radio program at Gardner-Webb, and I started using that as my stage name. And before this, I was actually dating a guy that his last name started with LOW, and so I had an Instagram handle that was Fancy Low. And whenever we broke up, because he was not that nice, I decided to change my name from Fancy Low to Fancy High, and so I started using that as my radio name.
She started using her stage name Fancy High when she would go out performing out in Shelby and the surrounding areas.
Everyone knows Fancy High, but nobody knows Hannah Stewart, and I kind of like it that way, so I can keep my personal life separate.